Everybody good? Cool.
Jeff Slauson here from 19 News Now at the 19 News Digital Desk. We are moments away from what will be an update from officials in this Maine mass shooting. For those that are just jumping on with us here, who have not necessarily heard all of the specifics of what is going on, we now have updated to 22 dead, dozens injured in this mass shooting. Again, this, for those that had not seen these photos before, this is surveillance video from a bowling alley, this in Lewiston, Maine, the second largest city in Maine, about 40 minutes north of Portland, Maine. These photos showing the suspect with an automatic or semi-automatic rifle with a scope on it walking into that bowling alley. We are not knowing specifics as of right now, but what we do know, 22 confirmed dead. There were multiple accounts of potential shootings taking place. One at the bowling alley that you are seeing here, the other one happening at a bar and grill nearby. The entire town of Lewiston, the entire towns around it, have been put on lockdown. That lockdown is still yet to be lifted. We bring you back now live to City Hall, Lewiston City Hall, where all of the reporters were told to go there, wait for an update from officials, and to stay there. They were placed on lockdown inside of that area. This, again, to prevent somebody from potentially confusing police, alluding to the fact, or trying to help them find who is responsible, which they believe, again, is this person in this photo here. We're now watching reporters put their microphones on stands, which is one of the areas that we've seen. Now there are various reports over potentially where the suspect is at the moment. We're still waiting on that to see officially, or to hear officially for this. The status of the shooter is number one, and this is paramount to understand exactly what is going on. What we are waiting for here is, I believe, I'm unsure if it's going to be the governor. There are going to be a couple of officials here, but you're seeing, oh, that just went, there we go. Okay, so we're going to switch back to this one now. As we wait, let me see if I can find a different shot here. Because we just lost that other one. Let's try this. Let's take you live to a report.
People down in the Portland area tell me the life flights have been landing over at Maine Medical Center, and certainly some concern, but it's been more calm now because all of those loved ones over there were moved to a different location, not right inside the hospital entrance here, but a different location. Now, behind us is the main entrance, and that's where there are some ambulances staged across the street. There's multiple towns, 5 to 10 towns named, and some of the parents we talked to 2 parents whose sons were at the bar that Mal Meyer is at right now, and they haven't been able to get in touch with them last time I checked in with them, but we'll certainly be looking out for them tonight, and definitely thoughts and prayers to everyone that's involved right now.
All right, so let's go back now to the other shot that we had here. Just please hold for that to switch. Yep, that's this. We do have 2 shots. We have this one here and then this one here. I'd like to use that main one, but they have not put their microphones on. But they just did a mic check, so we're anticipating that potentially within the next couple of minutes, we can hear from officials. We can get updated on this. But again, the latest that we have is 22 dead, dozens injured. Still awaiting to try and find out exactly who this is. That is the suspected gunman. If they were brought into custody. Motivation is very much so a question in a lot of these situations, but that is some sort of an assault rifle. It appears from the photos. Simply that person walking into a bowling alley is insane. Absolutely awful. We cover this too much. I've done way too many of these digital streams over the past few years, whether it's a children's school, whether it be a mall, whether it be a movie theater, whether it be a bowling alley, whether it be a bar, whether it be a nightclub. The list goes on and on and on, and this is just insane. I mean, we are reaching the point where now we have another press conference where we hope to learn how many people have been shot and killed in this. Confirmed already 22. At least 50 people injured is the report that we got, and that suspect still at large. Now, again, we have seen reports of potentially some activity in that. We are waiting to officially report on that. So for anybody that has any information on that, we understand that there are many reports going out there. We wait until it is multiple confirmed before officially saying it. We are watching our feeds courtesy of WMUR, based out of Maine, who has been providing us the latest. We were under the impression that potentially an update could come from either officials from across the state or the city of Lewiston itself. Again, the city of Lewiston, the second largest city in the entire state of Maine, about 40 miles north of Portland, Maine. This is a city that is essentially the size of Westlake, which is what we have used. 22 people dead, dozens injured in a city of about 30,000 in one incident is horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. This happened shortly after 8 o'clock. That's where multiple locations were asked to go on lockdown as a result of a shelter-in-place called by the sheriff's office in Maine. The order was to stay inside of your homes. If you weren't near a home, find a place to be able to stay. Let's just listen in to see if there's any updates. All right, so still nothing there. The two locations where there was the reports of the shooting, one of them was called Spare Time Recreation, which is a bowling alley. The other one was Sheminji's, which is a bar and grill. It's a restaurant. The two were 10 minutes from each other, but that's where the reports were from, multiple reports of them. We're seeing now more photos here. I'll pull these up for you. These are courtesy of CBS. So this released from police in Lewiston, Maine. This is a car that is wanted in connection to the active shooting. This is the suspect who is wanted in connection to the active shooting with a semi-automatic rifle, according to CBS. Let's see if there's anything else here. There is not on that. Let me pull you off of this, and then I'll read off of the specific information. But the White House has been briefed on what they know so far. The FBI has been briefed on what they know so far, as has the Department of Homeland Security's secretary, also briefed in this. We have multiple angles of at least the podium. We have nothing else. So the Maine governor has released a statement saying, quote, "I urge all people in the area to follow the direction of state and local enforcement. I will continue to monitor the situation and remain in close contact with public safety officials." The office of Maine Senator Angus King said that he was deeply sad for the city of Lewiston and all those worried for their families, friends, and neighbors. Far too often, we have the quote-unquote thoughts and prayers. This is a small town, again, similar-ish in size to Westlake, Ohio. About 35,000 people, somewhere between there. 22 are dead, more than 50 are injured. Just an awful, awful situation to show you the impact this will have on such a small community. It appears that that reporter might be giving an update. We have that camera here. So if she does give an update, we'll bring that to you here, trying to get as much information as possible. I've been in this situation where you're at a breaking news spot and the newsroom's asking for a bunch of updates that you don't have.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's a really tough situation for the reporters who, especially in a situation like this where you are told you need to stay in this city hall. You cannot leave. You cannot follow your leads. You cannot go anywhere to try and get any sort of assistance for your story. It's a hard day. That is a tough day. That is a very difficult area to be in. I'm going to pull off of that and show you a live look right now from one of the hospitals in the area. This courtesy of WGME, which is our CBS affiliate based out of the Maine area. We had seen gurneys waiting outside for people. Again, think about where this is. Think about the location. This is a small-ish city, similar in size to Westlake, in the 30,000s, around there of people, having to have outside of their hospital gurneys waiting for people, either dead or alive, to get off of an ambulance to be brought into the hospital. That is awful. That is inexcusable, and that is something that this community will never forget, as they are still on lockdown, and we are still awaiting for an update, potentially, on the suspect in this. We do know from reporters they were told to stay in City Hall. They were told that they cannot leave. Wonder if that is still the case. The lockdown obviously is going to be incredibly telling to be able to find out what happened and if that suspect has not been found as of yet. Let's take you live to that reporter right now.
No updates so far. There seems to be some delay in this state police press conference, but we are hoping to gather more information when that happens later on tonight. But as you and Greg mentioned, the #1 notice out there is shelter in place, and that's definitely true here at City Hall. Pretty much everybody inside the City Hall is a member of the press, and we are locked inside this building. And as we were driving up over here, a spokesperson for the city called me, telling me to come to City Hall and shelter in place, asking me if I was okay, asking me when I was going to be here. And I think that just shows the level of fear that is out there on the street. People want you to get inside, they want you to stay safe, and they are very adamant that you are following that rule.
Again, not much of it in the form of an update from any of the press there. This update that we were expecting to get from officials, unsure again if it's supposed to be the governor or whoever it's supposed to be, this update was supposed to happen around 10 o'clock. We are very clearly now 40 minutes past that. So we're still waiting on that. Problem is, at least as far as us here at 19 News, so I'll need to be on TV in about 13 minutes. So what we're going to do is we will be leaving this up with the podium up if it does not start prior to our 11 o'clock newscast. But we are still in waiting for an update from police, from officials, from anybody to provide any sort of confirmation in what happened in this shooting in Lewiston, Maine. Just trying to see if there's anything else that I'm missing here. Now let's go back to show you. Okay. So again, this is the suspect that police are looking for. We are unsure if they are currently looking for this person or if they've already found this person. But again, that is who police are looking for at the moment. Now let's scroll down a bit and show you here, which is the car that is wanted in connection to the active shooting situation. Both of these provided by police in Lewiston or officials in Lewiston, whether that's the sheriff's office or the Lewiston Police Department. Those are the two main things that have been in association with this. I'm also seeing a little bit of newish news here. The Central Maine Medical Center, which is where we've been showing you footage of, is said in a statement that it was reacting to a mass casualty, mass shooter event, but did not elaborate further on numbers of patients or the severity of the injuries. However, I can tell you, and I can attest to you, just by watching the video feeds that we have currently of our sister stations based in Maine, we have seen, again, gurneys prepped in line, waiting for those that have been injured or killed to arrive. Think about that. Rows and rows of gurneys, doctors, nurses, waiting for whatever might be brought off. Now, I know for a fact here as well, you're seeing this live look right now, this, I believe, from the Central Maine Medical Center. This is a different view than what we were given earlier. Before, some cameras were in the emergency room entrance, that area. This does not appear to be that. Understandably so, it seems that media has been asked or forced to move to a separate place to avoid getting videos of anybody that is in an awful situation as a result of this random mass shooting. We don't know if it's random, excuse me, but this mass shooting that took place in Maine. So we do know now as well that the president has reached out to Senator King, the senator based out of Maine, directly and offered any federal assistance that can be provided by the federal government to help the people of Maine. That has been done within the past few minutes. We know for a fact that the governor, senators, Department of Homeland Security all have been briefed on at least what the officials know, which as of right now, we haven't gotten an update in a very long time. Let me see if I can update with the Androscoggin Sheriff's Department. Nope, they still have the suspect for identification listed.
Yes. Check. That might go.
All right, I wonder if there's another update to come from a separate person here. I'll re-rack our breaking news information that we have for those that are just joining, for those that are jumping onto our digital stream, awaiting an update from Maine, from Lewiston, Maine. We now have confirmed 22 dead, dozens injured in this shooting, at least 50 people according to CBS News. The gunman is believed to have entered into a bowling alley and a bar. I'm showing you a photo of the person that police believe is responsible for this. Also the car that is associated with this as well. You're seeing on your screen right now. We know that the local hospital, Central Maine Medical Center, has been prepping to react to a, quote, mass casualty, mass shooter event. While watching what has been unfolding at that hospital, we have seen dozens upon dozens of gurneys already prepped, ready to go, brought near ambulance entrances. Cameras have moved since then. We bring you live now to a look inside of the City Hall of Lewiston, Lewiston being the second largest city in Maine. This is north of Portland, about 40 miles north of Portland. It's similar-ish in size to Westlake, Ohio. Reporters, let's see if we can... Reporters in that area were told to wait in place there. Everybody in the area was told to wait in place. But they were told essentially, hunker down, you need to go somewhere where you're going to be safe. Let's see if there's any updates here.
Polling decisions in progress. Please keep talking to a minimum. This is a polling place, and voters are concentrating their ballot. We are in Lewiston, Maine, in the City Hall chambers, down east, the heart of Maine.
He's just testing microphone levels.
Special issue, the LA Mainers never see. Checking, 1, 2, 3, 4. Checking, hey. How we doing? Are we okay? Bye. Oh, are we good? Thank you.
I really hate in situations like this when people try and be funny when this is clearly not a laughing matter. Okay, so that is a second update that we've had, audio update on this. We're trying to see where this is going. Okay, so they're at a polling location. So that's City Hall, which is probably a polling location for this smaller town. Again, 35,000 around there, people. Where were we? Okay, so we were talking about, so this is the car associated with this. We have multiple reports coming from various areas. We're waiting to kind of get confirmation, and that is, that's the key here. I mean, people, I understand, are seeing videos and photos from across social media. That is unconfirmed. Until we hear it from officials, that is not confirmed information. So we are waiting for an official update to understand exactly what is going on in this. Now, we are getting very close to the beginning of our 11 o'clock newscast here at 19 News. So what we will most likely be doing, if they do not bring somebody out within the next few minutes, we will leave this up, and as soon as they get onto the podium, we will, of course, be able to bring you the latest in this. But we are still awaiting updates from the city of Lewiston, the state of Maine, and potentially the federal government in what is an awful day for this small community in Maine. 22 dead, more than 50 people shot or injured in this shooting. The entire city of Lewiston and surrounding areas, that includes Auburn, for those that are familiar. If not, it is just another smaller city that is connected to it. Both have been instructed to shelter in place and are still in a shelter in place. The reporter who was currently on one of our cameras that we have there, this live camera here, she mentioned earlier how essentially for anybody that's in the City Hall area, it's just press. Press essentially got a text from a member of the mayor's office to leave and to go to City Hall and to stay there. They knew they would need to provide an update, but it's also easier not to have any reporters running around when you need to get some official business done. But that active shooter situation in Lewiston, Maine is still ongoing. The active shooter situation, very much so. A lot of questions still active in this. We are waiting to hear updates from police and officials who potentially could give some insight into where we are, particularly with this person here, the believed shooter in this. It's happening about 8 o'clock, and again, almost 24 people confirmed dead as of right now. There's always a potential that that number could climb, unfortunately. Just an awful situation. And we, what more to say? What more to say about truly awful situations that continue to unfold across the United States that we report on, and then another awful, insane thing happens and we report on that. Terrible. People just living their lives at a bowling alley. All right, I'm gonna have to step away here, get over to our main set for 19 News at 11 o'clock. We are going to leave this shot up in case they go live. The updates that you potentially could get, we will of course warn that a lot of intense information may be shared, but we are going to leave this right now, leave the sound up, and of course if there's any updates, you could stay on the stream here or flip over to 19 News at 11 o'clock, which starts in about 3 minutes. That will also be able to bring that for you here. All right, we're going to leave this up for now.
better quit trying to split that gap because I keep kicking your sticks.
Thank you for joining us here this evening. My name is Mike Sawchuk. I'm the Commissioner for the Department of Public Safety here in Maine. We truly do appreciate your patience and your partnership as we work with all of our partners across the law enforcement spectrum at all levels, local, state, county, and federal, to address and investigate these violent crimes that occurred in the city of Lewiston this evening. As you know, this is an experienced group. We won't have a lot of Q&A here this evening. This still is very fresh. It's new. It's new for all of us. And our focus is on the investigation and getting this right the first time. And we're doing that with our partners. And we do appreciate you putting out information from time to time. Moving forward, we would appreciate it if you got that information from us so that we knew that it was accurate. And that is incredibly important for all of us from an investigative standpoint and from a public safety standpoint, that we have a unified front with this information as we release it. The delay in coming here with you now is simply because we want to confirm information from our end. We want to make sure the information we're giving you and the information that goes out to the general public is accurate. So we do have some information here that we will release. It is here on the podium. And this is a general caution to the public. That approximately 6:56 this evening, a couple of shooting incidents occurred here with multiple casualties in the city of Lewiston. And police are currently searching for a Robert R. Card, 4/4 of 1983 of Bowdoin. Card is considered armed and dangerous. He is a person of interest, however, and that's what we'll label him at moving forward until that changes. If people see him, they should not approach Card or make contact with him in any way. The shelter-in-place order that currently stands in Lewiston remains. A vehicle, which was a vehicle of interest in this incident, was located in Lisbon, and we are now also asking residents in Lisbon to shelter in place. So please share that information with communities as well. If anybody sees Mr. Card or has any additional information reference to these two shootings in the city of Lewiston, please contact 911. If they see anything suspicious, please feel free to call their local authorities. We have literally hundreds of police officers working around the state of Maine to investigate this case, to locate Mr. Card, who again is a person of interest and a person of interest only. And we'll continue to gather information so that we can bring the suspect to justice and ultimately seek prosecution down the road. This release also includes a photo, which I believe I have seen, from various sources. I would also let you know that we have created a reunification location, and that would be at the Auburn Middle School, so in the neighboring community of Auburn, at 38 Falcon Drive. Again, that's the Auburn Middle School. And when I say reunification center or location, what that means is that if somebody has a question or they have a concern, they can't find a loved one, they believe that a friend or a family member may be involved in what occurred here tonight, in Lewiston, that they could respond to that location. We will have some of our behavioral health liaisons, counselors on site, and we'll also be providing information as it becomes available to us. As you can imagine, and as you know, there are multiple scenes in the city to include multiple hospitals, multiple follow-ups, a lot of witnesses we're speaking with, and a lot of leads. The general public has been very cooperative and very forthcoming with information. So I would expect if we have additional information, we'll be happy to come back and share it with you. I know that from the city of Lewiston standpoint, probably going to close City Hall after this briefing and probably move everybody out. But again, we appreciate your partnership and your patience. I would offer to take questions just so you know that I probably won't have answers. And as long as you know that going in, there's no disrespect intended in that. Feel free to ask a couple, and if I think we can get there, then I'm happy to answer those. If not, we do have work to do on behalf of our communities, and that's our primary focus this evening.
There are many specific figures about casualties out there. Sheriff Sampson told me up as many as 20. I just wanted to give you the opportunity to set the record straight on that.
Yeah, I do appreciate that, and I know that there's been a lot of numbers out there. This is a very fluid situation, so the last thing I want to come up is give you a number and then 3 hours from now change that in one direction or another. So I don't have firm numbers on that, and when I do, we'll be happy to share those with you, because it's an important piece of healing and it's an important piece of information for all of us to be aware of, but I don't have a firm number on that.
But at least 16, right?
I think I just answered that question to say that I'm not going to give you any specific numbers. And there's been a lot of numbers all over the map all evening, and I don't think that that's helpful because it doesn't help family members. It certainly doesn't help the community to see, well, they just said this and they said that. So if you want accurate information, I'm prepared to give that to you when I have it. I don't have that right now.
Does the suspect have any known criminal history with law enforcement? Is he someone who's been on the radar of state police or local police, to your knowledge?
Well, Mr. Card, who we're speaking about right now, is a person of interest and a person of interest only, right? I'm not listing him as a suspect at this point, and we're not prepared to go into his background or anything else that we may be aware of. One more question?
You're only looking for one shooter, correct?
We're looking for this person of interest right now, and that's what we'll label and list and speak about at this particular moment. When we have additional information, I'm happy to share that. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Again, thank you for your time. And I know Assistant City Manager O'Malley will make arrangements, I think, to move everybody out of the building. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. These are the flyers that we were mentioning, so feel free to grab those. And we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you very much.